Hey, Shawnee from SpeedCubeView.com. I've been requested to make a video on PLL AUF, and AUF is augmenting the U-face or adjusting the U-face after you do PLL. Could be really any time, but for this video, PLL. So when you have a case like this is an A permutation. I know that I'm going to need to do a U move at the very end to solve it, and planning that out before you do your PLL. Okay, so now I just finished the video. I'm coming back and doing a little extra intro. For what I'm going to do, I'm just talking about my mindset. Don't worry about having a cube with you and solving along with. If you do, go for it. Just slow down the video, pause it when you want. But I'm just going to talk kind of fast and go through the concept of all of this. So just sit back, relax, watch this, and you'll be able to make your own AUF plan with your own algorithms. You don't need to know my algorithms to do this. It's not that difficult. It's actually very easy for a lot of cases. So I'm going to go through what I think of when I do that. And I'm going to go through some of the easier ones first. So let's do the edge ones, the edge permutations. Whether you do M slice, U perm, or the RU one, very simple. The corners don't move with either of those. So if, let's say you're doing this, you know that you're going to have to do a U prime at the end because you see green and green. So when I do this, go right into a U prime. Same thing for H perm. The corners don't move. So if it's like this, I know I'm going to have to do a U2 at the end. Now there is an H perm. Instead of doing M2U, M2U2, M2U, M2, if you swap the U's and U2s, M2U2, M2U, M2U2, M2, it's going to be off. So I've tried a couple times to adjust which H perm I do. However, I just found it easier to stick to one and then do the AUF. Now with that said, Z perm. Z perm technically needs one more U move to get back to center. So for example, here's a Z perm. Corners are lined up as you can see. It's 180 degrees off. So you need to do a turn like that. So what I look for though, like let's say if I had something like this is all lined up. When it's off by 180 degrees, I know that I can just finish and not have to do any moves. When it's like this, I know I'm going to have to do a 180 degree turn. But when it's like this, what my brain thinks of is move the opposite direction of where it needs to go. So instead of doing a U move, I know I have to do a U prime. So when I do the Z perm, U prime. So that's what I think of for that. So U perms, don't have to worry about it. H perm, don't have to worry about it. Z perm, 180 degree move. Okay, let's just start at the very beginning with A perms now. And A perms, the edges don't move, but what I really focus on is this block. This block's not going to move with most major A perms everyone does. So if it's like this, I know it's set. If it's like this, I know I have to do a U prime. When it's like this, I know I have to do a U2. And when it's like this, I know I have to do a U. Same thing for the other A perm. If it's like this, I know I need to do another U move at the end. Like that. I just do a U move after that. Okay, the next PLL in line, A, B, C, D, E, is an E perm. And the one I do is what a lot of people do. I think a lot more people put their thumbs on top. I just put them on bottom. Like that. And for here, I know the edges don't move with this at all. So if that edge is fine, then we're good. But if it's like, let's say here, I know I'm going to have to do a U prime or a U2. So U2. What's nice about the E perm is that it could be executed like this or like this. So if I'm doing this, I want to do a U2 first because it's easy to do a U2 and then the E perm rather than an E perm and then U2 in my opinion. However, after years, I still never get super comfortable doing that, and I see this and I just go straight into it and then do the U2. Okay. F perm. That block is going to be wherever it is right now. So with this F perm, I'm going to have to do a U prime. As you can see, all of these are just planning out one color, looking at one spot and saying, where is that going to be? That's what you should really be focusing on. So let's do G perms at the very end. J perm. Now most J perms are written where you do a U prime at the end. So it's like that. I don't write it out that way. I just write it like that. And what I look at is, without thinking about what that U move is, I just look at where this color is, and it's going to be there when I finish. So here I'm going to have to do a U prime to finish it, because that needs to go here. Same thing left-handed. So I'll just mix it randomly. Okay, hold it like this. That red needs to go here, so I'm going to have to do a U prime. And I just did a U prime at the very end. So again, let's just turn it randomly. Let's see here. That orange has to go here, so I have to do a U perm. Or sorry, a U at the end. N perms. Same idea. Whatever side I'm starting on, that's going to be there, just like the J perm was. So if I'm here, I know I'm going to have to do a U2 at the end. Just like that. Same thing with the other N perm. Exact same thing. Although I know I'm probably one of the only people in the entire world that does that N perm. Okay, R perm. Again, I don't like to think of that final U move that's standard with an R perm. So I look at the center color. And that is not going to move when I finish. So I'm going to have to do a U2 at the end. U2. Same thing on the other side. So if I hold it like this, that blue is not going to move. So I need to do a U2 at the end. Okay. Almost done. T perm. That doesn't move. V perm. So in a V perm, that part's not going to move. And yeah, that's it. So let's go to G perms. There's two major G perms out there. There's wide moves and there's UD moves. Let's talk about the wide move one first. So let me set one up. And with the wide moves, that bar doesn't move for any of the cases. So here, that stayed right there. Same thing if I'm doing this version. I'm going to do the wide move, and that's not going to move. Okay, so now if I do the RUD version, instead of that pair, these corners don't move. So sometimes I'll decide to do a wide version or the RUD version, depending on where those corners are, so I can eliminate the AUF. So here, there's no AUF needed. And then same thing, if I do the RUD version on here, if I do the RUD version, I have no AUF. If I do the wide version, this I have to do a U move at the end. So no AUF needed. However, if I did that version, I would have to do AUF at the end. Depends on which one you do. For this, both have something. If I do the wide version, I have to do a U2. If I do the RUD version, I have to do a U prime. Whoop, did I mess it up? There we go. Okay. So that's it. So thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, step by speedcopyview.com for more news and reviews. These corners don't move. So if I'm holding it here, I've got to do a U move. Okay, R perm.